just down the road from St. Bernard-Elmwood Place High School. You're getting a look at Bron Bacevich Memorial Stadium, where tonight the St. Bernard-Elmwood Place Titans have the pen in their hand and the history books open. They will take on the visiting New Miami Vikings. And we are stoked to have you with us on another Friday night under the lights, a Friday the 13th matchup on ICRC-TV. Hello, I'm Josh Semstrott, joined by Dean Lowry. And Dean, tonight, a lot of history could be made here for the St. Bernard-Elmwood Place Titans, and a different team. You and I have been covering this program for quite some time, and I know a lot of folks in the community have waited for this. They have turned it around, a new culture here, winning ways for the St. Bernard Titans.
Absolutely, and it's a big challenge today for New Miami. They got to hang in there with a quite tough opponent. You're looking right now at one of those opponents, D'Amico Harris.
Yeah, D'Amico Harris, leading rusher here in the MVC, and you know, a lot of talent in this, a lot of young talent in this St. Bernard team. D'Amico Harris, 1,461 rush yards on the season, 9.8 yards per rush, 18 total touchdowns this season, and he's coming off a season where he was the 2022 MVC Defensive Player of the Year. The defense for the St. Bernard Titans picking it up nicely this year though, Dean.
Absolutely. If you look at our keys to the game here, take away Titans. Josh, what do you got on this St. Bernard defense?
The Titans, unbelievable, Dean. I had to almost like backtrack on this stat. 30 takeaways. They lead the MVC, both the Scarlet and Gray division in takeaways. 10 different players with a fumble recovery, led by Jean Neal with 4, and 7 different players with an interception. Amari Hicks, Jaden Jasper, Greg Thornton, all with at least 3 interceptions. I mean, you got to be careful against this Titans defense.
And if you hear how good that defense is with those takeaways, it's no surprise that winning ways, our third key to the game, Coach Nick Hogan is looking to become the all-time leader in wins here at St. Bernard-Elmwood Place. In his 3rd year with the team, the Titans have an average margin of victory of 28.3, and they've allowed 2 or less scores in 5 games on the season.
That's pretty nuts. I mean, Kyle Hogan's done such a great job of installing a new culture here, year 3. And then on the other side for New Miami, also a new coach. This is his 1st year at New Miami, 28 years coaching overall. Chris Fogle at New Miami for the first time. Dean, only 4 returning players for this New Miami squad. They have their work cut out for them, but Chris Fogle said these kids come in every day willing to learn the game. And both these teams here, as we're about set for kickoff, young teams just trying to learn the game. I think one program a few years ahead of the other, but I mean, we cover a lot of high school football, Dean, and this is one of the youngest matchups I can remember.
Yeah, looking down the roster for New Miami, I mean, we have 22 players rostered. 13 of them are freshmen.
And I think St. Bernard's going to start the game off with a little trickery here, recovering the opening kickoff.
Yeah, you don't see that from the opening play very often. Takes it into that mid-range almost. I can't really call it an onside kick with how much distance it's traveled, but New Miami just failing to jump on the ball, seeing some of those young players in action right there.
The Titans coming out hot with Emma Rudemiller there, their kicker, one of the females in the Miami Valley Conference, and she gets a Friday Night Lights started off with a bang there. A little Sean Payton coaching call there with the recovering the little pooch kick for the opening kickoff of this game.
Yeah, senior soccer player getting her own chance to get the ball. I don't know what kind of stat we keep for kickers for that, but onside kick recovered. That's always good to add to the books.
Starting the game off with a rush here to D'Amico Harris, a couple yards on the carry. Going back to that kickoff, Dean, I mean, Emma Rudemiller, how many girls in Ohio can say they started a game off on a Friday night varsity team, kicking it off, recovering their own pooch kick there?
Yeah, you don't. I would venture to say it would not be many. We have seen a lot more girl kickers in the leagues. I've been, as far as just this year, I think we've seen 3 on ICRC-TV alone. So you're definitely becoming more common. But they actually have another kicker on the roster, a junior, Emily Blevins. So when Rudemiller ends up graduating, they've got another woman kicker ready to go.
Both girls on the soccer program here for the Titans as we get a handoff up the middle. There goes Harris. Harris inside the 15. Harris to the 10. One more and he's in. Touchdown, Titans.
The Titans waste no time here. Number 5 in the Harbin rankings in Division 7 here in our region, and showing why right there. D'Amico Harris is a monster. Let's take a look here from the shotgun, hands it off. Nice blocking by the Titans up the middle. He takes it, and then he breaks 1, 2, 3 tackles on his way into the end zone. No one's stopping D'Amico Harris. Not that that's an easy task to do.
Emma Rudemiller will line up for the point after attempt. Snap down and right down Broadway for Rudemiller. How about Rudemiller with the extra point in the opening kickoff recovered there. D'Amico Harris in for the touchdown. And that's something that New Miami head coach Chris Fogel said that they have focused on this week in particular, open field tackling, and he specifically called out it takes more than one man to take down D'Amico Harris.
Yeah, we'll have to be counting how many men it actually takes because it's more than 3 as well. So we'll see. They've been working hard on the practice all year. I mean, this year going into this game, this is a tough matchup for them. They understand what's happening. Trying to build that culture, trying to have some fun out there, keep everyone healthy. That's been a lot of their challenges. Missing some key players today, including Dawson Hayes, the junior. He's got 5 of their team's 7 touchdowns on the year. Unfortunately, not healthy enough to go today.
Dawson Hayes, one of the standout two-way players for this New Miami squad, and he's out with a wrist injury tonight. They certainly will miss him. Might see Kingston Royalty step up in that position. Jaden Hill, both freshmen, might fill that role tonight. Another kickoff here, same about 15 yards, this time recovered by New Miami. Upman gets it across midway. Does look like he's hurt.
Oh no, you just talked about Kingston Royalty. That was him on the catch there in the return. Definitely a little down gingerly. He's up now.
Yeah, gets up after the play. That's good to see. And already, Dean, one of the things that we are going to see a lot of tonight is none of these kids left the field after that kickoff. Only 22 players on this New Miami roster, and they are, as we pointed out, a couple injuries. Dawson Hayes not the only one tonight. So these kids are going to be two-way all the way.
We'll see if we get a chance to look at the sideline here in the next few plays, but there is one player in uniform as a substitute available.
We pointed out this is one of the youngest varsity squads that Dean and I have seen in our time at ICRC, going on about
6.5 years.
Almost now, and seen many of varsity games across the tri-state area. This is one of the youngest matchups we have ever seen. And it'll just get thrown away there by Mason Stevens. New Miami Vikings 0-8, still searching for a win this season. 0-3 in the Miami Valley Conference Gray Division. The St. Bernard-Elmwood Place Titans 7-1, 3-0. Dean, they, with a win tonight, would clinch their best record, best season since they've come into the Miami Valley Conference. Coach Kyle Hogan has done an amazing job. We get some laundry on the field, a holding.
Yeah, I heard lots of parents were calling that one for us in the stands. I saw it at the last second. Going to make it a little harder for Mason Stevens, the senior quarterback. And I say the senior quarterback because he is the senior on the roster.
Yeah, speaking of New Miami head coach Chris Fogel earlier, one of his toughest tasks coming in his first year here at New Miami, only 4 returning players, only 1 senior, so many freshmen on this team.
That's a good sign for the future, at least. If you're able to bring that many freshmen in, that can be a class that sets the tone for the classes to come.
Rush coming in, and he's sacked. Ball comes out at the end.
Whistled down.
They're going to say that he was down, but James Hall in from the corner blitz gets Mason Stevens on the floor.
As sophomore, he'll be lining up outside on offense. Comes in. It did not have much stopping him on the way to the quarterback. Luckily for the Vikings, that ball was ruled. The play was ruled down before that ball came out. But it's going to move him even further back here. We've got second and a ways.
Second and almost 30. Mason Stevens with a big task ahead of him. Again, the only senior. Coach Chris Fogel called him so dedicated to this program for the past 4 years. Dedication and leadership has been crucial to his transition as a coach. He takes a hard snap there. All out blitz. Not even a chance for Stevens. And he is buried at his own 20.
Yeah, and if you look at the stats, New Miami's not afraid to drop back and try to throw the ball, even taking these losses and having such light amount of players to work with. They're still going to stick with their game plan. They're going to learn. They're going to keep getting better. They're not here trying to pad any stats. They're here to get better at football.
Yeah, like we said, Dean, a lot of freshman players out on this field tonight just trying to learn the game a little bit.
Get used to that varsity level.
Yeah, the varsity level. I mean, one thing that Coach Chris Vogel pointed out is the jump from middle school to high school ball is just so massive, and he's got multiple players tonight that this is either their first time coming back to football at all since they played as kids, or their first time committing to a varsity sport even at any point in their childhood. So
lots of Titans at the line again.
Long third down, gets a nice matchup, but it's overthrown. Was looking for Sam Meyer on the slant there, and it is going to bring up a massive 4th down for the Vikings.
It was a great job by Stevens to get that ball out there. He had lots of Titans in his face, hands up, blocking all of his vision. Not a terrible throw for the circumstance. Unfortunately, just a bit too high for him to bring down.
And Sam Meyer is the one back to punt. Sam Meyer, one of those newcomers that is brand new to football for this new Miami squad. An end-over-end punt that is going to go out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. And Coach Vogel saying that Sam has developed into a fine punter and kicker, Dean, especially with this being his first year playing any sports in high school.
Yeah, that's quite a statement to make. They are stepping up for your team. They need players. Here's someone who can learn, have some fun. Obviously, still be a good student and go out and get some exercise on the field. You always love seeing that in high school sports.
Get a look at some of the St. Bernard cheerleaders on the sideline there. And both of these squads, Dean, Kyle Hogan and Chris Vogel, building a brand new culture into their schools. Freshmen stepping up, juniors and seniors that have never played varsity sports of any kind stepping up, showing out for their community and school. It's really cool to see these programs building up from, you might say, from scratch with these new coaches as D'Amico Harris takes another rush outside.
I'd say with 4 returning players, you can certainly call it scratch fairly there. And St. Bernard, obviously, a few more years into Nick's head coaching spree here, and they've really developed into a great team. They'll have a huge matchup next week. They don't want to overlook this game. Got to take care of business first. But traveling up to CCD for one of the best games of the week.
Yes, we will get to preview that matchup plenty tonight with the 7-1 St. Bernard-Elmwood Place Titans looking ahead to next week. But for now, D'Amico Harris on the pitch takes one a good 15, 20 yards inside the St. Bernard-Elmwood Place red zone.
He makes it look so easy, Josh. The way he's out there running, he's not using a bunch of extra movement to not make any efficient cuts. He's getting downfield fast. He's controlling the ball, and that's really key. We'll take a look here at the replay.
Yeah, watch, Dean. I mean, a lot of this on this pitch or sweeps comes with these linemen just setting the blocks, and he almost glides outside there.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of running backs trying to make a bunch of moves as he heads to the sideline there and maybe getting out of bounds 3-4 yards before Harris ends up going down. He does not let you knock him around early. He's going to take all the yards he can get in. Here it is.
Another handoff out of the shotgun, and he almost walks in to the end zone for another Titans touchdown.
Great effort by the Titans there. There was not much Harris needed to do once he broke that tackle in the backfield. All kinds of space for D'Amico Harris.
And great scheming by the coaching staff there as well. Setting up the 3 receivers near side. Got the new Miami defense back in the secondary. A lot of space here on your replay.
Yeah, he just cuts by one guy, and from there, the Titans do the rest, blocking.
Ruda Miller, her kick up and through 14-0 early in the first quarter here at Bron Bacevich Stadium.
Yeah, St. Bernard wasting no time, showing that they respect New Miami, the Vikings out here. They do not want to get caught in a trap. Let's go out, let's take care of business, and then we'll start thinking about the playoffs, because they're in a position where they're going to be hosting a game, this new playoff format for the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
Right. Move to the 16 teams in every division in this Miami Valley Conference game, a Division 7 game here in the Ohio High School Athletic Association. And the New Miami Vikings not eliminated yet, number 21 in the Harbin rankings for the Division 7 Region 28, and then number 5 is where you will find the St. Bernard-Elmwood Place Titans. And folks in St. Bernard or Elmwood Place, the two communities coming together for one school district here, but folks in those communities, it's been a long time, Dean, since we've been able to see even a winning product for this program.
Absolutely. I mean, they share a stadium here with a team that wins so many games. It's great to see both teams that use Bron Bacevich Memorial Stadium able to get to some winning.
Bron Bacevich Stadium also home to the Roger Bacon Spartans, whose branding you'll see all over and on the field. Both in the Miami Valley Conference, Roger Bacon over in the Scarlet Division, St. Bernard-Elmwood Place in the Gray Division. And as we have alluded to, they are 7-1 this season overall, 3-0 in the Miami Valley Conference Gray Division. And next week, a huge matchup with the other undefeated team in the division, Cincinnati Country Day.
Yeah, that is quite a team to have to face, though. CCD have scored 334 points, and they've only allowed 20 all year.
An unreal stat from yet another unreal football team down here in Cincinnati. And the New Miami Rush is snuffed out and stuffed by the Titans defense, as Kingston Royalty that tried to take it up the middle there, nothing doing for him. Stevens going to come over to his coach, Chris Fogel, for the play. Couple players donning the pink gloves and undergarments for Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Always love seeing that. A great contrast with the green, I must say, too. Some teams' colors just work good with the pink.
Absolutely. Both these do a fine job, I think. Little motion and a pitch here. And a couple yards on the play for New Miami as Jaden Hill sent in motion there and got the pitch.
One of those freshmen.
That's it, yeah, one of their freshmen, Dean, and a little bit of motion in the play there. New formation we hadn't really seen them work out of yet, and that's, I think, one of these drives. You see Stevens keep going over to the sideline there with his coach, Chris Fogel. They work slow tempo here. It's just getting those fundamentals down.
Yeah, you don't want any pre-snap penalties. Make sure you get your chances, drive the ball. I mean, if you're working with such a young team, a lot of times you're undersized. Some of these freshmen, and even through seniors, you're still growing.
3rd and 8, Stevens fakes the handoff, and he is swallowed up immediately in the backfield. Troy Burnett with the sack.
Yeah, Burnett just dominates his matchup at the line, gets there in a hurry. Not much Stevens can do here, you see on the replay. Ends up dragging him down for the sack.
Sam Meyer out to punt once more, 4th and 15. Jaden Jasper, the senior, back to receive the punt. He'll take it at the 40, 41, almost bob it a little bit. Space up on the far sideline. There goes Jasper. Flag in the background. Jasper's at the 20, the 10, and he gets into the end zone. Do have Laundry on the field.
A great return. I'd hate to see it come back, but I'm watching the refs here for their discussion. Yeah, you can see the reaction on your screen now as it gets his way to the Titans. He just great cut, gets some good blocks from his teammates, and then he just outruns him.
Yeah, some great blocking on that far side there, but oh no, they're going to call it against New Miami. So it will remain a touchdown. Jaden Jasper, punt return touchdown. That will make it 20-0 with 5 minutes still to play here in the first quarter. Jaden Jasper, the senior.
Roller coaster of emotions there on his roller coaster of a punt return.
Absolutely. So the flag against New Miami is declined. Touchdown stands. And Emma Runemiller is out for her third point after attempt of the evening.
Plenty of reps for this kicking team as they go into a good matchup. You always love to see that. Can always come down to kicking, and especially in playoff time. Something that in high school, not easy to find.
High snap, but gets it down, and it is through.
Great recovery there, as you said. That snap was up there. Athletic play there by the holder. I didn't quite catch his number, but
I think that was Logan Davis, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice play to be able to get that ball down, and that's part of it. We're talking about. I was talking about how kickers are hard to find out there on the high school level. It's hard to find long snappers, holders. That's just not something you really practice until you get older. You don't see the youth teams out kicking so much.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at some of these kids that have Sam Meyer for New Miami. You know, where are you going to find a punter or a kicker? You know, so these coaches have to really sift through their community, through their high school to find these kids with these talents, and some of them, it's their first venture into varsity sports, but that is what, I mean, I gotta, just emailing back and forth with St. Bernard coach Kyle Hogan and New Miami coach Chris Vogel. Both men seem to have a great understanding of their roles and building the character of these kids and building the culture of these programs as young as they are. Kickoff received at about the 20, and a vicious tackle there, down at about the 24, and that was Sam Meyer also doing the kick return duties for New Miami.
Yeah, just showing that two-way athlete. That's what Division VII football is all about. Find some strong athletes, get them to work together. That's St. Bernard has been doing a very successful job. New Miami is trying to build that up. He talked about that all-in concept.
Yeah,
in our email back and forth, trying to get all the kids to be all in, giving it 100% of the time, and you love to see it out there, taking that ball back there. New Miami's just going to have to keep battling. You're not going to get any help on the scoreboard. You got to keep yourself motivated in your own ways, have your own goals.
Absolutely, Dean. Have your own goals, and I think one of those here, let's try and get a first down for the Vikings.
Absolutely.
Out of the shotgun formation, little side pitch to his halfback there. Going to get a yard or two. Kingston Royalty on the carry. And Royalty, one of the young kids that Coach Fogel mentioned, another freshman that is going to be a big part of our program in the future, is what Fogel said, a key cog in what they're trying to build going forward. Young kids with a lot of speed.
Yeah, especially speed and conditioning, huge on these teams that don't have as many substitutes or as many options available. If you're able to run and keep running, that's huge in Division VII.
2nd and 13. This time the quarterback keeper goes Stevens.
Nice gain there.
He'll get just past the original line of scrimmage, and that's going to bring us to a 3rd and 9. So doing a little better than the very, very, very 3rd and 4th and long that we had on that first possession. Still some 3rd and 8s, 3rd and 9s. I know Chris Vogel wants to get this team to a 3rd and manageable against this very, very, very stout St. Bernard-Elmwood Place defense.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough task all night, Josh. You're just got to stay in it, stay all in.
Extra men on the interior for New Miami. 3rd and 9 from the 26. Slow snap. Stevens takes it, facing the rush. Will scramble outside, gets rid of it, and I believe that's going to stand for an interception.
Yeah, I think he got it in.
Got the feet in. Picked off by Nathan Schulte, the sophomore.
James Hall, great pressure on the quarterback, forcing that throw down the sideline, and then finishing the job, Schulte. Good pick. Good job getting both of his feet in bounds, actually, I think. Don't need them both, but we'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take it.
You can confirm.
Not sure how many scouts are out here at Bron Bacevich. That's why we're here, and ICRC-TV is here, but the little toe tap on the sideline there for the NFL interception from Nathan Schulte, and that's going to set the Titans up very pretty from the New Miami 29-yard line. Kennedy hands off to Harris. Harris is going to bounce it outside. Harris has room, 2 to face, blockers out in front. Harris to the 10. Harris going to get into the corner of the end zone. Touchdown, Titans.
Wow. You can tell how Harris has so many yards in leading this Miami Valley Conference again and again. What a patient run on that touchdown, waiting for his blockers. He doesn't run full speed into the defense. He was sitting there, he saw that he had the edge, and then he had another blocker off field. He literally directed him to pick up his extra block that he needed to get in the end zone.
Patience is a great word for it, Teen. He really waits in the backfield, waits for his line. That's amazing trust with your other classmates, too, on your offensive line to wait and direct there. Rudemiller, hold, kick, all good. And it is 28-0
Here's look at that run
on
again.
Mitchell Avenue in St. Bernard, Ohio. Yeah, look at the direction.
Bounces outside, calls for his block, then stiff arms him. D'Amico Harris running into the end zone. That's a tough task for a Vikings to make an open field tackle, especially a lot of these freshmen out there trying to bring down the beast that is D'Amico Harris and the Titans.
D'Amico Harris, just to give you folks an idea of what we're dealing with here in the beast, as Dean said, that is known as D'Amico Harris. Only a junior, so you folks get one more year with him. This season alone, D'Amico Harris has broken the single-game rush yard record, the single-game touchdown record, career rushing yards record, career touchdown record, and he only needed 184 yards coming into this game to break the single season rushing record for St. Bernard-Elmwood Place.
And he didn't play in every game.
He missed two games
and is going to break that record.
I mean, an unbelievable season stat line and career stat line for D'Amico Harris. And this is all on offense.
Yeah.
Mind you, he was the Defensive Player of the Year in the conference last year.
And he's not done. We still have we still have plenty of this game left. We still got another game next week for Harris to keep adding to those amazing records. What a season, what a career he's been having.
I tell you, this community produces a lot of those just amazing two-way running back, linebacker players.
Absolutely.
Speedy guy named Corey Kiner used to run these fields, and he was also kind of at least while he was here at Roger Bacon, kind of wait in the backfield and take off with it.
He was something else to watch playing in high school, much like watching Harris, where it's like, wow, I can just imagine myself as a high schooler out there, and you're going against a kid like that, and it's just like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah,
like,
what do I do?
That is another level of both talent, effort, execution that a lot of these kids, they're out here to have a good time and get better, have a great time staying in their community. That's awesome. That's what high school sports is all about. We have other kids looking to play at the next level.
Absolutely. So we'll try and keep an eye on that and try and get some updates for you. Again, Division 7 football out here at Bron Bacevich Memorial Stadium. Don't have the freshest up-to-date stats for you, but we will try and keep an eye on the record-breaking stats of D'Amico Harris as the night goes on. All right, New Miami Vikings going to give it another try here on offense, this time working from their own 32. Spread shotgun, man in motion. Stevens will keep it, get a couple yards on the first down carry.
East possession has looked better for New Miami, even ending with a turnover, even having all the pressure on the quarterback. They've just looked more consistent out there, a little more controlled. It's like they kind of settled in. The maybe first few plays, a little shell-shocked with St. Bernard's pace, energy. I mean, the opening kickoff, St. Bernard just wanted the ball.
Absolutely,
New Miami did not have the desire to get that ball.
Absolutely. So 2nd and 5 now from the 37. Again, Fogel will spread his offense out. One halfback with Stevens. He'll give it to him, and a couple yards on the carry for Royalty. That'll bring us to a 3rd and 5 and a manageable 3rd down here for the New Miami Vikings.
Yeah, we'll see what they draw up here. They've had some success going up the middle on these runs lately.
One thing Chris Fogel did say to us, quote, "With such a young team, our focus is finding success in the little things. We are focused on teaching instead of winning. Yes, we want to win, but the wins will come after our kids learn the game. Jumping from middle school to varsity ball is a massive jump."
That's a great mindset to have, especially coming into a new program that basically hit the reset button.
And Meyer will get out of one tackle initially in the backfield. Won't quite get to the marker he needed, but we're going to have a 4th and short here.
Yeah, he did a good job keeping his legs moving there. He was still getting some extra yards, even with many Titans on top of him.
And this is where St. Bernard previously took over on an interception, so you might want to take a shot here.
Timeout, New Miami. They're going to think about it.
Chris Fogel going to call his team over. About 43 seconds left to play here in the first quarter. 28-0 is our score. St. Bernard-Elmwood Place Titans lead the game over the New Miami visiting Vikings. And we talked about a lot of history potentially to be made here tonight, Dean. We've got Coach Kyle Hogan, only in his 3rd year at St. Bernard-Elmwood Place. He wins tonight. He'll be the winningest coach in school history. And I think that speaks a lot to the culture he's installing here just 3 years in, and just to show you how far this program has come. Was not a winning program for a long time. Came into the Miami Valley Conference about 2012, 2013, and just by far their best season that they've had in the conference so far, and they've set themselves up for an opportunity to play for their first title next week against Cincinnati Country Day.
Yeah, that's a hard conference to join. I mean, these two teams are Division 7, but that's not the case for their entire division, or especially the entire conference.
No, and the Miami Valley Conference gone over a couple realignments over the past decade and a half or so, but a major realignment in the past few years, kind of the lower, if you want to put it that way, gray division, some of the smaller schools, and then the Scarlet Division host to some of the private schools. And we're going to try a quick rush with the quarterback here, and New Miami not going to get the first down. Helmet popped off there for Stevens, who tried to just sneak it up the middle quickly, but the Titans defensive line held steady.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing with an undersized team. It's hard to push over the Titans. You start looking up and down this roster sheet at the weights and the heights, and it is like facing a Titan out there for New Miami.
So Stevens will walk off the field over to the sideline, and
take a breather.
St. Bernard-Elmwood Place Titans will take over from the 41-yard line. Still 36 seconds left to play in the first quarter.
I can just imagine how well conditioned this Viking team must be with this little amount of subs available.
D'Amico Harris, quick run up the middle. He'll get at least 10 yards, I think a first down on the rush. Yeah, Dean, that's a great point that you make there. I mean, we pointed out at the start of the game that they only have one dressed sub on the sideline.
one of them being Mason Stevens, who just came back onto the field.
Yeah, not many times in a football game could you just always call who gets subbed in and out, but with only one available, it's very easy to keep track who's coming in, who's coming out, and that's going to take us to the end of the first.
So 28-0 is your score at the end of the first quarter. St. Bernard-Elmwood Place Titans lead the New Miami Vikings. You are watching ICRC-TV.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere, and just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again, then make sure.
We switch fields for the second quarter. 2nd and 1 for the Titans. And a handoff to Harris. This time is going to be stopped in the backfield by the Vikings. Mason Stevens and Isaiah Johnson, two of the captains for the Vikings.
It's going to be a flag after the play as well. I believe it's going to be on Harris tossing the ball in frustration afterwards. We'll see. Refs are discussing. Yep. Harris is going to come off the field for that.
Yeah, unsportsmanlike.
Or at least coming to a coach. He got wrapped up and dragged for quite a while there. And it showed some frustration. I mean, every other run's felt like it's went into the end zone.
Yep. We talked about Harris, patience in the backfield. Little patience here in the head. Played a clean game so far. Both teams playing a clean game so far. I think that's only our second yellow flag of the evening. That is going to make it a 3rd and 20 from the 50-yard line for the Titans. 2 up top, 2 to the bottom. It's going to be a handoff this time to Lede Lackey, and Lackey will take it up near the marker, but will be short of the line to gain. That is going to bring up a 4th and 4. Lede Lackey, number 2 running back for the Titans. A good run there.
Yeah, Harris will be coming back in on this play, and got to give credit to him with that unsportsmanlike call. It's just something about being a competitor. He's frustrated. He wanted to get that more yards there. He didn't do anything that hurt anybody. He tossed the ball in frustration. You can't do that. That's fine. It's a flag, but we move on. He's going to get the ball here and a chance to redeem himself, and he's going to do so.
4, and yeah, he does redeem himself. Dean Harris to the house. It's another touchdown for St. Bernard-Elmwood Place.
Harris, he passed 3,000 yards, 20 touchdowns on the season in that last quarter. Adding on to it now, 3,000 career yards, 21 touchdowns this season now.
Over 3,000 career yards, 21 touchdowns now on the season.
And this is just year 3.
Yeah, only year 3. This man has a chance to become one of the greats to run this field here at Bron Bacevich Memorial Stadium. And we got a flag on the PAT. Rudemiller holds on the kick.
I believe that's going to be offsides. Yep, offsides the call on the field.
You are right. That is an offsides on the New Miami special teams.
St. Bernard's still going to line that up. You're up 34. I don't think you really need to consider going for 2 here. Coach agrees.
And give your kicker the work before potentially a huge game.
Absolutely. I think that was blown dead again, but it's good.
Yep, kick is good. Emma Rudemiller perfect on her PATs for the night. 35-0, your score here in St. Bernard, Ohio. Again, St. Bernard-Elmwood Place. 2 communities forming 1 school district. One of their, if not the most winning season, at least since they joined the conference going on 10 years ago. The Titans, number 5 in the Division 7 Harbin rankings, with a win tonight would almost certainly have home field advantage as one of the top 8 teams in the 16-team playoff.
Yeah, I think that just about locks them in. I'm not a, I don't know how the computer rankings work. I don't know the ins and outs, but from what I've seen, that certainly will guarantee a home game.
Try and get Joe Edel on the horn here at halftime and see what he says about that. One of the best websites to get on if you are a Ohio high school football fan this time of year, joeidel.com, to see all of your Harbin rankings across the league. But there's no better place to get all of your sports information for varsity sports in Ohio than the OHSAA, ohsaa.org. New Miami kickoff recovered by Sam Meyer, and he will take it up to about the 36, 37-yard line. That's where New Miami will start a new series.
Yeah, talk about St. Bernard looking to host a home game here. Roger Bacon, who shares the field, battling for a home game right now, currently 12th in Region 16, that's D4. But they still have room to improve here. They can still get in there, still a couple weeks left.
Roger Bacon, one of our other ICRC schools, as we cover the St. Bernard and Elmwood Place communities. New Miami High School out of Hamilton. They start a new series from their 36. A handoff this time will gain a few yards, and New Miami Dean starting to find some success on the ground with another good run there from Kingston Royalty.
Yeah, that was a strong run there from Royalty. Freshman, 6 feet, 190. You like the looks of this kid as they try to build this program up. Chris Vogel.
Yeah, I can hear it too.
A 2nd and 5. One of the better second down opportunities for the Vikings. Working almost exclusively out of the shotgun. Snap is fumbled, and I believe Stevens got back on top of it.
That was an impressive job to get back on there. Everyone else is coming in hot and fast. He's facing backwards, having to recover backwards. Does a great job.
And just on that play alone, Dean, you really see the speed as you see a replay here. Just how quickly you've got 3, 4 Titans to the ball.
In an instant.
In an instant, absolutely. I mean, that's one of Coach Hogan, when we were talking to him over email, that's one of the things that he said he has emphasized to this team, quote, "We make it a point to go into each game preaching finish. We want to play a complete game and finish the game out the right way," end quote. And I think that's part of that culture he's installing here. You look at some of the games they've played. I mean, I think it's only twice this year that they've allowed more than two scores in the game. 3 times they've allowed more than 2 scores in the game.
Oh.
Shotgun pass just through the hands of Meyer there.
When that ball came out of his hands, I was worried. I saw so many Titans in the area, but he found hands there for New Miami. That was a great pass.
A dart of a pass.
Yeah,
I mean, when Stevens has had time to get back and throw the ball, he has looked at Meyer on that slant, and they have been crisp darts every time, just almost a little too hot, a little too high.
Some good defense there, getting hands right in the way as well.
That'll bring us to another 4th down for the New Miami Vikings. 4th and 14 from their own 32.
2 men back for St. Bernard.
Ja Neal, Jaden Jasper, both back, and the punt is deflected. It's going to roll just past the 50, out at about the 52, and Gio Higgins, the senior, got his hand on the punt there.
Yeah, he did a great job pushing his blocker back. He knew he was not going to get to the punter, instead just gets big, gets his hands up there, makes a nice deflection on that ball.
So on both sides of special teams, to open the game, it was Emma Rudemiller, recovered her own pooch kick, and then a deflected punt by Gio Higgins. And the St. Bernard-Elmwood Place Titans continue to dominate down on the gridiron here on Bron Bacevich Memorial Stadium. If you're joining us late, Josh Semsrott with Dean Lowry on ICRC-TV. We thank you for joining us on this Friday the 13th under the lights. Quick rush by D'Amico Harris, gains a few yards. St. Bernard-Elmwood Place Titans 35. New Miami Vikings out of Hamilton, Ohio, 0. About 5 minutes to play here in the first half.
Gorgeous night for football. It was a little hot earlier today, I'll say, but now it feels like that fall weather. You're down in Cincinnati, gotta watch the high school football. No exception here.
Peak Cincinnati fall week. Hot and cold, and then settled into just right for Friday night football.
So next week, snow.
Absolutely. 2nd and 8, handoff to Harris. Spin move there, he gets outside. 1 to beat, he jukes again. Finally brought down at about the 35. Harris continues to work towards the history books tonight.
We'll take a look here. Harris rolling off tackles, getting plenty of blocks. Gets around the ref. That was looking like who was going to make the tackle, in my opinion. Jaden Hill, nice effort at the end. Freshman from the Vikings. 5'9", 150, using all of it to take down Harris out of bounds.
Yeah, good for Hill there, just to force him out of bounds, prevent him from getting any further. Nevertheless, the Titans march into Viking territory, and it is another first down, this time from the 34-yard line.
We talked about how Dawson Hayes for New Miami, missing that key factor on defense and offense, but especially the defense. He leads the team in tackles, not out there tonight.
Kennedy hands it to Harris out of the pistol formation. We've got another lost helmet, and nothing doing there for Harris.
Another great stop. Vikings stand strong up center there.
That was Corey Thomas. Lost his helmet for the Titans, going to have to come off for a play. Isaiah Stallworth, the sophomore, going to get a look for him. 2nd and 10 from the 34-yard line. 2nd and 9.
Hear the coaching instructions for Harris in the backfield here. Coach Hogan lining him up where he needs him.
Little counter out of the shotgun. Harris is going down the sideline, and he's just brought down right before the goal line. It'll be a 1st and goal thanks to an amazing effort from Sam Meyer. Just bringing him down there.
I think that might have been
the goal line.
Noah Henry on the tackle? Right at the end?
Man, just focus this a second.
Harris running like a freight train.
We do have a flag on the play holding on the Titans, and so that will wipe out that amazing rush by Harris and set the Titans back all the way back to the 43-yard line. So a long, we'll redo the down as well, a long 2nd and 20 now.
Yeah, I saw a couple of guys that definitely were at least riding the line for holding downfield on that play. I was waiting to see if anything got called. I didn't even catch the flag.
Hand off to Harrison. He's stuffed in the backfield by Kingston Royalty. Royalty with a huge stuff on the other side of the ball.
Yeah, no need to rewrite the playbook here. Just keep handing it to Harris, but the Vikings respond.
And Dean, you were right down there. That was Noah Henry, number 7, not number 1. Number 7, Noah Henry, the freshman, making the goal line stop.
5'5", 130, making the tackle on D'Amico Harris. Great effort out there. Got to give a shout out there.
Noah Henry, good man, and he is lined up back there at the DB position. And he is the last line of defense for that Vikings defense at 5'5", 130.
Putting up Lucho Acosta numbers right there.
Absolutely, the freshman is holding it down. Big pass here from Kennedy. Down the sideline, he's got a man! Touchdown, Titans! Jaden Jasper with the haul.
He just turns on the burners there, Josh, on the go route. Gets plenty of space, makes that throw easy. Takes it right into the end zone.
Have not seen a lot of dropbacks from Lucas Kennedy tonight, but the freshman quarterback delivers a dime to Jasper there. And it's 41-0 now, Titans.
You had to feel like that was coming at some point. Running the ball, running the ball, running the ball. New Miami's putting even more people into the box. Eventually, why not just send one deep?
And a little trickeration off. A little trickeration on the point after attempt there, but the officials are going to get together.
Yeah, I heard some whistles. We'll see.
Refs get together. Here's a look at your replay. They're going to have a face mask on the tackle. Man, yeah. That was a great throw from him, Dean.
Absolutely. Puts it right in the pocket. We're taking our lineup for this extra point here.
So this time, a little more trickeration. A handoff up the middle to Rudemiller, and she's going to be stuffed. Emma Rudemiller gets the call for the 2-point conversion, and she is stuffed at about the 1-2 yard line by New Miami.
Strong run there up the middle, just not able to quite make it to the end, but that's going to take us to halftime here in St. Bernard-Elmwood Place.
So it will just, hold it 41-0 there. Halftime at Bron Bacevich Stadium. Jaden Jasper finishes the half off with his second touchdown of the game. He's got one punt return touchdown and that receiving touchdown, 41-0 your score at Bron Bacevich Stadium here in St. Bernard, Ohio. You are watching ICRC-TV, and we will be back with the second half in just a few moments.
Leaves us with the next item on our agenda is item number 5, opening session.
I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. If you're out here at the parade or listening, thank you again.
Into the end zone, and that is caught by Jaden Wood.
Come on now, how we doing? Y'all feeling all right out there?
Hello, and welcome to this edition of This is Glendale. I'm Bet Chorus.
Hey guys, this is Unit 1 crew from Woodlawn Fire Department. We just want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And of course, you can always go to ICRC-TV.com.
Always a great day when ICRC is involved.
Another edition of ICRC, bringing the community to you.
How you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Thank you.
A place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And She didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for? How you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Thank you.
A place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
I'm an actor in an ad that was given 12 seconds.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again, then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
How you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Thank you.
A place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts, prepare an emergency kit, and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11 to nothing in the rain, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again, then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
I'm an actor in an ad that was given 12 seconds to remind you that if you're high, just don't drive. Because if you feel different, you drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.
leaves us with the next item on our agenda is item number 5, opening session.
I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. If you're out here at the parade or listening, thank you again.
Into the end zone, and that is caught by Jaden Wood.
Come on now, how we doing? Y'all feeling all right out there?
Hello and welcome to this edition of This is Glendale. I'm Bet Chorus.
Hey guys, this is the Unit 1 crew from One Log Fire Department. We just want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And of course, you can always go to the ICRC-TV.com.
Always a great day when ICRC is involved.
Another edition of ICRC, bringing the community to you.
How you doing?
Hey Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Thank you.
A place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
I felt accomplished after I got my diploma. Made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
As a dad, every day is a challenge. To make sure that the time that I have, I spend with them. It doesn't matter how tired you are, you have to try to teach them. When they learn something new, and you can just see in their faces, it's such an incredible moment. It's those moments that are my favorite.
What if you could feel in control of your retirement in just a few clicks? At aceyourretirement.org, you can. Start with a free 3-minute chat with Avo, your friendly digital retirement coach. Just answer some simple questions like, how do you feel about your ability to save for retirement? Or in how many years do you want to retire? To get free action items customized just for you. Get your retirement back on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
911, where's your emergency?
I felt accomplished after I got my diploma. Made me feel that I could take on whatever challenges life throws at you.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere, and just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again, then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
I'm an actor in an ad that was given 12 seconds to remind you that if you're high, just don't drive. Because if you feel different, you drive different. It's illegal to drive high everywhere anyway.
Welcome back to Bron Bacevich Memorial Stadium. The St. Bernard-Elmwood Place Titans 41. The New Miami Vikings of Hamilton 0. Josh Semstrat alongside Dean Lowry. Pleased to have you with us on ICRC-TV for Friday the 13th. Under the lights.
Spooky here in October.
Up here in the renovated couple of years ago Bron Bacevich Memorial Stadium, home to both the Roger Bacon Spartans and the St. Bernard-Elmwood Place Titans.
Great place to watch some football. You got that nice renovation that came in a few years ago. Also saw the field underwater a few years ago.
Yes. Yes, one of Cincinnati's oldest venues, but the venerable Bron Bacevich Stadium, always a classic venue. And this time, New Miami is going to try and start this half off with an onside kick. Recovered, though, by the Titans. Nathan Schulte able to get down on the ball. If you're just now joining us for the second half, again, welcome Josh Semstrat, Dean Lowry, ICRC-TV.com. But to start the game off, Emma Rudemiller, she recovered her own pooch kick. New Miami trying to give them a little taste of their own medicine there to get us started, but nevertheless, it'll be a first down from the 50-yard line for the Titans.
Might as well give it a shot. Nothing to lose here. Everything to learn. And now it's going to be lining up empty backfield.
See what
Lots
they're
of stuff
lining
going
up
on. It
with
looks like
here.
Harris is going to line up in the shotgun.
Yeah, D'Amico Harris in the backfield. Calls his own number. from the Wildcat, Harris. Harris is down to the 20, the 15, and finally taken out of bounds by 2 or 3 Vikings at the 10-yard line. Harris, great work out of the Wildcat there, and they're doing it for a reason, Dean.
You hear Rob Johnson on the call. That is the school single-season record for D'Amico Harris for St. Bernard-Elmwood Place. What a season he's having, and it's not done yet.
D'Amico Harris adds to the history books. A first down from the 10-yard line. This time Kennedy back under center, and this time he hands it to Jean Neal, who will take it up inside the 5-yard line. Dean, D'Amico Harris now holds the record for single game rushing yards, single game touchdown record, career rushing yard record, career touchdown record, and now holds the single season rushing record. All records here at St. Bernard-Elmwood Place High School. Congratulations, D'Amico Harris, only a junior.
I would classify that as pretty good.
Pretty darn good is another handoff. Won't get to the end zone this time. That's going to bring up a 3rd and goal. Danny missed 2 games this season, and we still have a game to play.
It is something to see that he has had this much success. He's running away with this record. We still have games left, missing games. We'll see how much we see of him tonight now after locking up that record. I see him over on the sideline, I believe, getting out of his pads.
Yeah, might be it for him. Might get him some rest before next week. Get a look at the cheerleaders happy there. They just watched a school record get set. 3rd and goal. Run outside, and he's going to be stopped up in the corner. No, he gets out of it. He gets out of it. Jean Neal says, no, this is my touchdown. Jean Neal gets the score for the Titans.
The Vikings had 2 hands of him on him there on defense. I believe it was Sam Mayer on the far side. Just not able to take him to the ground. He had him wrapped up. He had him stopped, but Neal just keeps his feet moving, drives his way into the end zone. Great effort there for that touchdown.
Had him wrapped, stopped, pulled down. Kyle Hogan coaching him up on the sideline after the touchdown run. Emma Ruda-Miller kick is up and good. 48-0 now in your second half. Only 4:46 to play in the 3rd quarter. I want to remind you, we do have a running clock here in the second half. 48-0, the Titans lead the Vikings. After the touchdown run from Jean Neal, set up by the amazing 30-yard run that broke school records from D'Amico Harris, and here's the run into the end zone from Neal.
Yeah, Neal bounces outside. Mayer's got hands on him, and then eventually just steals his way out. I don't even understand how he got out of that. Great effort.
Going back to the culture that Kyle Hogan set there, finish. Preaching, finish every play and finish every game. And I think some of the younger guys here, well, I don't know how much younger you can get for this St. Bernard team, but a couple of 2nd-string guys going to get a look as you see some of the St. Bernard-Elmwood Place faithful in the stands tonight.
Lots of fans out here. It was senior night, so at halftime, recognizing all those great senior athletes all across every matter of sport here. St. Bernard-Elmwood Place, heard about where they're going to school, if that's the path they're taking, or celebrating our seniors out here. Always great to see.
Seen a couple shots of the cheerleading squad. Want to give a shout out to seniors Danisha Clark, Varia Gray, Mayana Jackson, your senior cheerleaders for the Titans. Their kickoff just across midfield.
We talked about putting in the younger squad. That was Emily Blevins on the kick.
Yeah, 2nd female kicker they have that we talked about at the top of the show. Going to come in here and fill for Emma Ruda-Miller. Dean, you should have seen the reaction that Emma Ruda-Miller, the senior, got when she walked out. The whole sideline for the Titans that stayed out and watched their seniors walk the field just chants, Emma, Emma, Emma. She's got a 4.3 GPA, was voted the MVP of the St. Bernard soccer team, and holds the most saves in the MVC. And she's out here kicking the night.
Keeper.
Yeah, keeper, yeah.
Special place in my heart for that. That's awesome to see.
Yeah, you, the former Loveland varsity keeper, know you love your keeper and your multi-sport athletes.
Oh, yeah. I was also a great scorekeeper on the bench. I've got to give myself credit for that. Padding the stats for all my teammates on the, at the time, the Fort Ancient Valley Conference website.
Well, I tell you what, her teammates were padding her stats and hyping her up as her and her family.
They're giving her plenty of points tonight on these extra
absolutely.
points. That's awesome. There's some love for the senior there.
Absolutely. The
Braden
St. Bernard faithful showing up and showing out in every way. A 2nd and 11 here for the New Miami Vikings. They are on their own 42-yard line. Stevens, nothing doing there. That is going to drop
nowhere
it to
to
a
go
3rd and
when
long.
you have two Titans breaking through the line on each side at the exact same time. You just get sandwiched in the middle there.
Brings up a 3rd and long. Again, we do have a running clock here in the second half of this game.
Yeah, it definitely makes these second halves speed by. I mean, this quarter is already going into its final 3 minutes.
Goes very quick. If you are watching live with us, we'll get you a couple halftime scores around the Cincinnati area coming up here in just a second. Second and 14 now for the Vikings. Kennedy drops back to pass. Little screen is caught and then swallowed up. Not going to get back to the line of scrimmage is Jacob Curtis.
That was good awareness by John Neal on defense. Defensive back on the outside there. A lot of times when you see the defense break through the line, getting to the quarterback like that, they just like want to join in. People just want to, they drop their assignments. They start running at the ball. They think it's coming out. He stayed with his check down man there and was able to make the tackle. If he's not there, I mean, that's a solid game for the Vikings.
3rd and 15 for the Vikings. Jean Neal, a touchdown on the day. D'Amico Harris, 2 touchdowns. 1 passing touchdown for Lucas Kennedy so far. Nathan Schulte, an interception, and then a punt return touchdown and a receiving touchdown for Jaden Jasper. That's your scoring update for this game, as a punt on 4th and 15 here for New Miami, and a good punt at that. Over the head of the return man and out at about the 25-yard line. A decent punt there.
Yeah, that caught Jaden Jasper just a little too far up the field. Thinking it was going to come in shorter. It gets over his head. He's already had a great return today. That one punting away from him there.
Good job by Sam Meyer on the punt there to give his defense some breathing room against this lethal Titans offense that has just been running up and down the field. We've seen them mostly keep the ball on the ground, Dean. Only a couple dropbacks here and there. Obviously, the huge throw to Jaden Jasper from Kennedy, but Kennedy really hasn't dropped back to pass a whole lot. Wonder if they might try and exercise some things before their big game next week, or just keep it on the ground here up so early. Keep it on the ground they will. Here is, and it breaks out of a tackle. Does Jean Neal. Neal still up across midfield and finally brought down after he gets inside his own 30. Jean Neal will not be denied.
Heck of a run there. We talked about maybe look in the air. You don't need to if you're going to run the ball like this. Finds a hole through his center. Great job by the offensive line. Breaks a tackle. He was fully wrapped up there. Gets taken down. And an amazing block downfield. I did not even catch that live. Just completely pancakes him. Takes 2 more Vikings to take him down finally after a huge game.
Unbelievable game there. Amazing broken tackles. You saw Jacob Curtis in the background of that replay there. Frustrated with the broken tackles. An emphasis from New Miami head coach Chris Fogle this week, knowing that these running backs, Jean Neal and D'Amico Harris, would take more than one man to break down.
You saw the Titans giving Jaden Jasper the props there. That's who had that downfield block, just laying out the Vikings.
And in a quarterback.
Gonna bring us to the end of the quarter here.
Yep, that'll be the end of the quarter. Kennedy was looking over, maybe looking at a change there, but that brings us to the end of the third quarter. It is 48-0, St. Bernard-Elmwood Place over New Miami, and again, a running clock here, so we sped through that third quarter real quickly. Want to give you some scores from around Cincinnati tonight. Friday Night Football on Friday the 13th here in October. Week 9 for Cincy football. Just 1 week left. Obviously a huge game for St. Bernard next week against the Cincinnati Country Day squad, who they are tied with atop the MVC.
That'll be for the title.
That will be for the MVC title next week in Cincinnati Country Day. 34-0 over Lockland. Princeton, another one of our ICRC schools, and a great story on their comeback. 21-0 over Coleraine at the half. Roger Bacon, the co-hosts of this Bron Bacevich Memorial Stadium. And your other squad here in St. Bernard, Roger Bacon leads Purcell Marion 20-7 going into halftime. Elder, one of the big players out on the west side, facing out-of-state Indy Bishop Chatard, and Elder struggling there 7-21.
I hate to interrupt you here, Josh, but what you're seeing on the screen is I believe there was a Gatorade bath given on the field, and the Titans are now working together to make sure to clean up the ice off of the field. You do not see that very often,
No.
especially in the middle of the game.
They've got a spill aisle far side. You see it on your screen here. Mid-game ice bath. Oh, they've got him.
I believe that was Harris with the carry of that Gatorade.
Absolutely, Coach Harris, or that was Harris there, D'Amico Harris giving Coach Kyle Hogan the bath. Both gentlemen set for history tonight. D'Amico Harris has already broken the record open for single season rushing records for the school, and then Kyle Hogan will be the winningest coach in school football program history.
Yeah, that play's blown dead there for the helmet flying off our ball carrier, John Neal.
Yeah, helmet flew good 10 yards there. Yeah, Coach Kyle Hogan with a win tonight, winningest coach in program history here at St. Bernard. D'Amico Harris adding to one of the many records he's broken this season. And John Neal going to have to take a play off here with the helmet coming off.
Yeah, safety issue there. Looking across some more of our ICRC-TV schools, big game up at Wyoming, Ohio. But the Braves of Indian Hill are up 14-3 at half. That could be huge. Wyoming, I will have to look up the record. They have not lost for years.
They have not lost. Yeah, it is. I don't know what the record's at by now, Dean, but they have not lost in a very, very long time. And that game probably for the Cincinnati Hill League title.
It is.
Indian Hill 14-3 at halftime.
Yeah, both 5-0.
Back to our game here. Keeper for Kennedy up the middle, gain about 6-7 yards.
Yeah, Wyoming's last conference loss, I believe, was in 2015. I'm going to fact check that right here.
But I know their streak of consecutive wins was over 70. So Indian Hill 14-3 over the mighty Wyoming. Really weird one for my alma mater up in Mason. 0-0 between Mason and Lakota West at half. Milford, a great story. Another one of our ICRC schools as we have a timeout on the field here. Milford, one of our great ICRC communities, a great school system. Having a great year with one of the great Cincinnati football coaches, Tom Grippa.
A legend.
Absolutely a legend in his own right. And Winton Woods, they faced Winton Woods last week, barely hung on for a 3-0 win to keep their season undefeated. Milford 13-0 tonight at the half over their rivals West Claremont. And then obviously everyone's looking to probably the biggest game in the state tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Moeller and St. Ed, I think widely agreed upon the #1 and #2 team in the state of Ohio. They're tomorrow at 4 if you can fit it into your football schedule this weekend.
I've confirmed 2015, the last loss for Wyoming to a CHL opponent. Know who that opponent was? Indian Hill in the postseason.
One of the great storied rivalries, the Cincinnati Hills League does not disappoint. John Neal will get the snap himself, bounces off a couple tacklers in the middle, will take it up to about the line of scrimmage. Again, a running clock here, so we're down to about 6 minutes left to play.
Coach firing him up on the sidelines. Doesn't want anyone taking it easy into this end of the game here. Got to finish.
Finish. That is the word that Coach Kyle Hogan used to describe the culture. Asked him to describe his team in one word. He used the word resilient.
Neil lining up at quarterback, I think now.
Yep, this time Neil hands it off, and it is nothing but open field for another Titans touchdown. This time it is D'Amico Taylor, the freshman running back, getting in on the action. It's now 54-0 Titans.
Looked plenty comfortable out there. Did not look like it was a freshman running that ball. Took it right to the house. Still plenty of fans sticking around here to watch this end of the game, supporting their Titans.
Absolutely.
As well as their Vikings, traveling fans.
Yeah, good amount of traveling fans here out from Hamilton. But for this St. Bernard-Elmwood Place community, they've been waiting for this program to return to winning ways like this. And I think Kyle Hogan has got this program well on its way. And another ice bath coming, it looks like, for him again. They just got him on the sideline as we see a flag come in on the point after attempt.
How much more Gatorade can they have back there?
Yeah. You know the old saying, thirsty. We got ice. They're going to be out of ice over there in a little bit.
Icing their own kicker via icing the coach is a new strategy.
A lot of history made here tonight for Kyle Hogan, who's set to become the winningest coach at St. Bernard-Elmwood Place High School football tonight. D'Amico Harris adding another record to his book. Another field goal attempt there. This time, number...
That was Rudemiller again.
Was that Rudemiller?
Rudemiller.
Emma Rudemiller returns.
7 extra point on the game. I believe they just announced over the PA that is the single game record.
So Emma Rudemiller getting in on the history books tonight.
Well, and she almost took it in for 2 before half.
Oh, right. Yeah, I mean, you've got a lot of, just the culture change at St. Bernard here has been just incredible to watch. Such a young team, so many multi-sport athletes, academically just fantastic.
It's always been such a great community in this area. It's great to see that reflected in their teams here.
Absolutely. You know, Roger Bacon, an amazing school, an amazing program, but gets kids from all over the tri-state area, being a private school and everything. To see, you know, the homegrown talent here finally set in, some of these young kids step up, buy into the culture change. Just amazing here at St. Bernard-Elmwood Place, what Kyle Hogan has done.
They're reaping the rewards of all that work.
And yeah, he's Kyle, when we were talking to him, he said, this is just the product on the field, what we've talked about. We really haven't talked about what they're doing in the classroom. He says, academically, I couldn't be happier with the team. Each year, as the short kick there fielded at about the 40-yard line where New Miami will start, each year we have increased our GPA, not only for the year, but while in season. Right now, the team sits at a 3.4 collective GPA, and that has improved each year. So you are seeing the results in the classroom, you're seeing the results on the field, all the other extracurriculars these kids are involved in. It's really an amazing job of what Kyle Hogan has done for this program.
Yeah, it's especially, I love to see that increasing it during the season. I think people really underplay how, it's not crucial, but how great of a job a coach can do helping with their student athletes in the academic field via just giving them time, talking to them, and supporting them in different ways. I mean, heck, a lot of these coaches can be maybe seen a little too competitive, over practice them. Kids got to get their schoolwork done. They're student athletes. Sure.
Yeah, they're student athletes, and we've got a timeout that was called by Coach Hogan here, and I think he's bringing the Titans over. And just a reminder, you know, let's not cheerlead too much like you see on your screen here. We still got 3 minutes of this game to finish out, and you know, keep your poise, finish out, stay professional. I think he's what he's preaching to his kids right now. But on the other side of the field, I mean, Chris Fogel also, I mean, he highlighted a couple students for us. Isaiah Johnson, great size and speed for a 14-year-old kid. Great presence on the field, dominates linemen, carries a 4.0 GPA. Number 7, Noah Henry, who made that stop at the goal line earlier. Only 130 pounds, but Coach Fogel said his leadership as a freshman is inspiring and motivating for me as a coach. His drive unending, and he is a fearless competitor. Also carries a 4.0 GPA, does Henry. So a lot of, and New Miami, a much smaller roster, a first-year head coach, so many kids that are playing their first year on varsity, let alone not their first year on varsity, playing both sides of the ball, yet also doing what they're doing in the classroom. I think both of these coaches just excellent stand-up jobs.
Plenty to be proud of, that's for sure.
And I think for Chris Fogel, you look on the other side of the field, see what Kyle Hogan's done in 3 years. I think there's a lot to be excited for both of these programs moving forward. A 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line for the Vikings. Snap and a handoff and some daylight here. Good 6-7 yard run for Jaden Hill.
Yeah, we saw Hill make a pretty great play earlier in the game defensively. He's able to break a few tackles there, bounce it to the outside, and find some space.
Yeah, one thing we haven't touched on with New Miami, just the size and discrepancies that you'll see kind of out there on their roster alone. I mean, you look at Noah Henry lining up there off near sideline off of the line and setting up for a block there on 2 guys.
He's been ripping it all game.
Yeah, I mean, just truly, like you said earlier in the game, Dean, going up against real titans size-wise for some of these kids and not backing down at all.
Yeah, I'm not sure when it happened, if it was at halftime, but I also believe there might have been another injury for the Titans because I do not see any dress player on the sideline.
Stevens getting direction from his coach there. Like we said earlier, Coach Fogel was saying that Mason Stevens, his only senior on this New Miami roster, his dedication and leadership has been crucial to a smooth transition this season. And he will drop back to pass here down the sideline and just out of the reach of Sam Meyer. And a good look there from Stevens.
I love always rooting for some good football. I normally tend to lean a little bit towards my ICRC teams, but you got to root for the giant pass play at the end of the game.
Absolutely.
It looked good in the air, too. It was just a bit off. I mean, the timing was there. Puts it right on the sideline. There's no way that ball's getting intercepted. You'd love to see it. Go for a big play at the end of the game. We got 30 seconds left, running clock. Why not? Let's throw it again.
And there you see Coach Fogel and his quarterback, Stevens.
They're going to have to get the play off.
They've got to have. And, yeah, they got to get the play off. A reminder, we do have a running clock here, and it is ticking down to the last play. What can New Miami do here with the 4th down at the buzzer? Snap handled, buzzer goes off. Running outside is Stevens. Bombs down the field, nobody there. And that is going to do it for us here at Bron Bacevich Memorial Stadium. St. Bernard-Elmwood Place Titans clinched their best season since they've joined the Miami Valley Conference in 2013. They are 8-1, 4-0 in the conference, and have a date with Cincinnati Country Day for their first title in program history next week.
That's going to be a battle up in Indian Hill, Josh.
An unbelievable battle next week. Can't wait to watch that one in Indian Hill. But for now, from Bron Bacevich Memorial Stadium in St. Bernard, Ohio, your St. Bernard-Elmwood Place Titans with the victory 55-0 over the New Miami Vikings. D'Amico Harris breaks another school record, setting the record for single-season rushing yards. coach Kyle Hogan becomes the winningest coach in program history, and it is another wonderful Friday night under the lights in St. Bernard. For Dean Lowry and all of our crew back in our ICRC-TV truck, we thank you for joining us here in Cincinnati. I'm Josh Semstrott. Have a great night and a wonderful weekend.